Thanks for tuning into the Urban Scope podcast. I'm back with more WNBA news. Now, recently, as this past Friday, the WNBA has extended their talks for the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, getting extended again as the owners and the players can come to terms on a new agreement for the foreseeable future. Now, most people will believe that these agreements are based around getting more compensation from players, which they deserve, about the safety and other rights that players want and need from the league and from its owners. Now, I think these are obvious things that need to be addressed because the league is growing as far as popularity, sales, cachet, and things like that. The league is becoming more marketable as a lot of players have Nike deals and have Gatorade deals and State Farm commercials and things like that. So there are more eyes on the league, and the players become a lot more known and becoming household names. So these things are just par for the course when you're renegotiating terms. Now, a lot of things have to get done before the start of this season, but I think one of the things is the addressal of Kathy Engelbert. I'm not sure if the league, well, she's the commissioner, but I'm not sure if there's any investigation going into the comments that Nafisha Collier made about the text messages that, or the communication that she had with Kathy Engelbert as far as players' rights and the lack of compensation and things like that. Now, Kathy Engelbert comes off as um, very condescending, as a matter of fact, and she comes off kind of callous a lot in her interviews and just the way she carries herself. So I wouldn't be shocked if those comments that Nafisha Collier is alleging are true because just of how Kathy Engelbert carries herself. Not that's just from outside looking in. Never spoken to her, of course, but um, she will face more scrutiny if this deal is not done because she's still, making her money and she's making probably some kind of exorbitant salary because usually those commissioners from the professional leagues are paid from the owners of the teams. So she's getting her paper whether the players are or not. So she's really not in a hurry to get this deal done. It doesn't seem like she's in a hurry at all either. But the revelations that Nafisha Collier made it in her exit conference shouldn't be taken with a grain of salt because not just because she was, you know, she lost in the playoffs and most people thought she was salty, so she threw Kathy Engelbert under the bus. I think this was coming regardless, but you just had to find the right time to pick it, and I think she picked this time, which I don't have any problems with because if Engelbert really said those things, she needs to be not the commissioner anymore. She needs to be somewhere else because a league that's trying to grow and people have families to feed and these players have worked hard and they sacrifice just as much as the other leagues do, especially when they have different variables to worry about that the male players don't. I think it's a disgrace to the league, and you're disgracing the players who've put in the hard work, who make this product so you can make that money. So if she really said those things, I do believe Engelberg should be out, which I believe she's slowly becoming the worst league commissioner in professional sports. Now, that distinction easily went to Roger Goodell. Adam Silver used to have a better reputation, but it's slowly decreasing. So I think they need to um, pump fresh blood into the league of the WNBA. Somebody with more of a vision, someone with more spunk and a personality. Engelbert doesn't really have a personality, so I think they need to bring somebody with more energy, more energetic beliefs, someone with more pizzazz, someone with more cachet. If you can bring in a Magic Johnson, or you can bring in even a LeBron James when he retires to be the league commissioner, just bring in somebody. Even if you could bring in a fresh face from a female perspective. Like you bring in one of these um, high influenced women to bring in, like even like a Kamala or somebody like that, somebody who can bring new hope to the league. Because right now the commissioner is not doing what she's supposed to do, and as the old saying go, a fish rots from the head down, and she's slowly going to bring people down with her, and that's not where the league needs to go because it's in the best spot it's ever been, and it has even more promise with the college players that's coming out. there's going to be even more eyes on the league. So you need somebody who can steer you in that right direction. And she doesn't appear to be that. But it has to be a simpler way to get this deal done with the CBA, even if you can't come in terms of the numbers. But the pay definitely has to go up. The safety has to be better, especially with the fiasco with the sex toys over the past season that they had. Um, the safety of the players are paramount. Especially, we've seen crazy things go on with the players in the NBA, NFL. People throwing drinks on the court, or people throwing drinks on the field. There's a lot of things that's going on that has to be addressed for the player safety, because that's paramount, as well as the climate we live in. It's such a dangerous society we live in. We have to be at least be able to protect the players while they're at work, or anybody where they're at work should be protected, because that's just a level of expectation that as a employee or as a partner you would expect. So I think in addition to the CBA, the marketing has to get better because it's not marketed right. I even seen um, a poster or a banner of the WNBA with players on it and it's saying "Let her cook." I know what they were trying to say with the Glorilla song, but the messaging is just off. So the marketing has to be better. They have to come up with better ways to sell their product, because they're not selling as much as they can, and they can get creative in today's society too because it's not all about having a dollar amount. It's about the social media aspect. They're not out there like that. It's about just being able to just be visible, having players go on TV shows and talk about different things, have them on sports shows and things like that. I don't see a lot of that. They only marketed like two players, and those players are really just getting sought out. There's no players going out there and going out on on these platforms and being able to broadcast themselves. And there's a lot of ways they can do that, and they just haven't done that over recently. Well, ever really, um, to be able to combat just that myth about having a lack of excitement or lack of athleticism. These players are just talented as the NBA and NFL players are. They just don't get a lot of light, and it's seen differently. But I believe that's an old way of thinking, and they have to be able to bring people up to speed on the new things. But I will keep an eye on the CBA, and hopefully this gets done soon. Of course, I'll cover the terms when it comes to it, when it does. So thanks for tuning in to Urban Scope Podcast. Until next time, see you next time.